is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind.
Hello there. Hello. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is doing well. All right. Welcome to another live stream, everybody. Welcome to another live stream. And today, excuse me, sorry about that. We are going to be flying the Black Square Grand Duke. The Black Square Grand Duke. There we go. There is that beautiful aircraft. Hello there, Ernest. How are you doing? How are you doing, man? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. doing well. Okay. Yeah, so here's our aircraft for today. It is the Black Square Grand Duke. The plan today is for us to explore the coast of Madagascar. So I'm in a place called Mahajanga. It's called Mahajanga, and yeah, we're just gonna be flying around and exploring this part of the world because I believe I've never flown in Madagascar. I've never flown to Madagascar or out of Madagascar for that matter. So I thought, you know what, let's look at another part of the world. So yeah, because of the generic airports in MSFS, different parts of the world don't feel different, and that's something that I feel like is really missing from the simulator. You know, every part of the world looks the same, feels the same. That I feel is not nice. I don't know. Something is missing in my opinion, you know what I mean? Obviously it's a game, I can't expect it to be like real world, but you know. Hello there, EM. Mahajanga. That is correct. It is called Mahajanga. Yeah. Alright. Without further delay, let's just get this party started. I mean, excuse me. There's nothing else for us to talk about. So let's just get in there. Go to the walk around mode first. Get rid of the covers. We can do this from the tablet on the inside, by the way. We don't have to do the walk around, but why not? Can even rotate the propellers. Check that out. Look at that. Look at that. We can rotate them. We can rotate our propellers. We can get rid of the covers. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Check that. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. Alright. Great. Let's hop on inside now. Excuse me. And let's get this party started. Ta-da! Okay, we need to press this to get inside, by the way. Okay, welcome to the cockpit of this beautiful aircraft. The best GA aircraft that I own, possibly. Not possibly, definitely. So yeah, you know. Let's open up those pressurization stuff. The pressurization, or however you say it. I don't know what's wrong with me. So let's open up that pressurization stuff, close it back up, just like that. It's a very hot, I think it's hot where we are. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's freaking hot. The cabin is 37 degrees Celsius at the moment. We're gonna deal with that in a second. So before we cook in here, let's go ahead and get our party started. Okay, I think I want to connect external power, so let's do that. External power on, battery on. We'll leave the generators on, master avionics on. We'll put that on there as well. This one is going to be off for the time being, or on standby. We're going to put this on altitude reporting there, and we're going to make sure our nav light is up, on, beacon light on, please. Fuel mixture, both of them to rich, at least the first one to rich. Crack open the throttle right there. Perfecto. Let's actually have a look at how the engine is going to respond as we do the various things. We can have this beautiful visualization, very well simulated here. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's run. We'll get the GPS aligning at the same time. Let's run our pre-oiler. The pre-oiler is running, oil is climbing up. You can see the gauge here. We've got that red line right there, so it's good to go. Let's do the fuel boost. Okay, we can see the fuel is crawling up the line. Excellent. We need to do that for about 30 seconds, 20 seconds, and then we'll be ready to start. Okay. There we go. Let's go ahead and start the engine. There we go. Left engine has been started. Alright, let's do the same with the right engine. We can take a look at what happens here. Pre-oiler running. There we go. There's the oil stuff right there. Looking good. Let's go ahead and run the boost pump, shall we? Oh, we need to crack this open, by the way. Put that up. Okay, we got 30 seconds of that going on. Let's go ahead and start the second engine. There we go, second engine started, and we can turn off those two. Make sure our cowl flaps are open. They already are, but I'm just making sure. Got both engines running. Looking good. Okay. Great. We're on generator. Yes, we are. So external power can be disconnected. We don't need that anymore. Very, very good. Let's actually go ahead and close up our cabin door. There we go. Electricals looking good. Everything is looking good. Great. All right. Now for our AC to start running, if we come to our cabin here, we need the RPM to be above this 1200 line. Okay. So what we're going to do here is let's put it on auto cool. Temperature at 23 degree target. That's fine. Let's put the vent blower to high. Excuse me. There we go. That's done. Now the cabin should start cooling off by itself pretty much. Outside temperature is 26 degrees, so we're going to leave this open for the time being. And it should start cooling down any second. Right? It should. Let's see how that goes around. Yep, 33 degrees. Okay, beacon is on. All that is on. Let's put our taxi lights on there. I'll switch this to beacon and recognition. We'll put our panel lights on. Everything here down and on. Okay. Because why not? Because why not? Alright. Select this to 3000. Let's put our flaps down. Okay. Good. I think we're ready to get on out of here already. God is near to us as weather gets hot. I read about this in place too much hot summer. God is close to people. Right. God is close to people. 37 was the temperature of the cabin, not outside. Outside is 26. Yeah, I guess so he is. I guess so he is. Alright, everything closed up. We're looking good to get on out of here. Let's just check our fuel quantities. I want to fuel up a little bit more than this, so I'm going to go here, come to this, and we're going to take about 55 gallons of fuel today. Actually make that 65 gallons of fuel. Okay, we're gonna carry a little bit extra fuel today. And yeah, there we go. There we go. Alright. Let me just redo that. Let me just redo that. Good. Good. Yeah, the tablet is freaking amazing, isn't it? Taxi light is on. Everything is set. I think we need to get out of here. Yeah, let's just get out of here, shall we? Yes, we shall. Okay, release parking brake. Alright. Let's turn this beautiful aircraft around. I expect to try a flight Dallas Fort Worth to Dubai this weekend on Emirates 777, of course. That is a very long flight yet again, EM. Hope you enjoy that flight. Which 777? You're flying the PMDG one from inside MSFS, right? Or you're talking about another simulator? Okay, the aircraft is constantly pulling us very hard to the right, but I'm not gonna mind that. Let's go and line ourselves up. So we are taking off from Mahajanga, the coast of Madagascar, and I'll show you guys a little bit more on the little nav map so you get a better understanding. Is the little nav map still even visible to you guys? Can you guys see little nav map if I unmute it? Not really, huh? Oh no. Sorry about that. I'll show you guys a little nav map in a second. There we go. Well, thank you for the confirmation, Mr. Anas. I'll show you guys a little nav map shortly before we get to flying here. So let's turn ourselves around. Brilliant. Okay, there we go. All right. Wait, what the heck is going on? Why is everything misbehaving, man? I don't understand. Like my... Oh, God. You ever have those days where you're just like, why in the hell? I'm having one of those days. Flight sim, the FSLTL traffic injector, it was not working. Now we've got this. Okay, so here we are at Mahajanga, and yeah, I think I need a whatever. It don't matter. We're at Filbert. The airport itself is called Filbert Sinar. Oh my God. Siranara. Filbert Siranara, I believe is what it's called. I can't really read properly off of this, but it's I think it's called Filbert Siranara Airport on the coast of Madagascar, and we're gonna fly along here. First, we're gonna come down to this side here to Soalala. I'm gonna come down to Soalala. We're going to check out this delta area, and hopefully if we have time we're going to head on this way as well. So that's what's happening today, ladies and gentlemen. We can check out this little lake here. It's going to be a visual flight, no programming of the GPS there. So yeah, hope you guys have a good time. Siranara. Well, like if I could see it I could pronounce it, so it's not too bad. I mean, Madagascar has Antananarivo. Is it called Antananarivo? Yeah, literally, I think. I don't know. Anyway, weather radar is on. This is on. (27°C). Let's shut off the outside air, the ram air. We're gonna cut that off. We don't need it yet. Although it will help us cool down when we're outside, won't it? So I'm going to do this instead. I mean, when we're up in the air, so. Okay, landing light, please. Yes, nav. We change that to strobe there. Pitot heats can go on. I don't really mind. So yeah, I think we're ready to take off out of here. I don't think. Okay. So given that, ladies and gentlemen, let's release that parking brake. 50%. %, throttle. Putting in some significant rudder input at the moment. 80 knots already, so we could kind of take off now. There we are. Get up. What a beautiful sound. Okay, there we go. Let us turn the heading this way, maybe. I don't know. We can go ahead and turn on the autopilot after we turn the pitch trim on. There we go. We're going to close the cowl flaps because we don't need them. Let's put our normal flaps up as well. Heading up towards 3,000 feet. Let's bring our propeller RPM slightly below. Good, that's much better. And we can bring our fuel mixture to roughly half right there. And that looks good. I believe we're headed in the opposite direction. Yes, we are. We are headed in the opposite direction. I just had to select something to get the autopilot going, that's all. But we're okay. We don't even need the weather radar today. I mean, it's crystal clear everywhere, so. Prop sync, we don't really need it. Can turn off our landing light. Fuel pumps are off. Those are looking good. Those are looking good. Everything is looking good here. Pre-oiler is off, and it should be. Just gonna make sure the cowl flaps are closed. There we go, altitude alert coming towards 3,000 feet. Let's take a quick look around. There we are. Beautiful Antananarivo. No, it's not Antananarivo. Sorry about that. This is Mahajanga, ladies and gentlemen, Mahajanga. Look at that. What a beautiful area to be flying over. We're going to take one more turn this way. We'll be flying over the coast of Madagascar. Okay. Let's just make sure our cabin temperature is good. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Our outside temperature is 24 degrees, so we can leave that open. Brilliant. Brilliant. Look at that. That is where we just took off from, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly where we just took off from. As a matter of fact, let me go here and shut down the ram air. Forget about it. Look at that. Let's take a cinematic gander at it. Beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely lovely. Very nice. We're headed to, let's go ahead and explore this beautiful water that we have here. And don't worry, after a while I'm gonna go down and we're gonna hand fly this thing very close to the ground so we can really enjoy it, you know what I mean? So we can really enjoy it. Just gonna turn this way so we can enjoy these waters. Lovely change in color of the water from blue to green to pale color as we go in. We can go and explore that delta area. There's a river delta right there as it drains into the ocean, so we're gonna go check that out before we continue on our little exploration. Our exploration of this part of the world that I've never been to, in the simulator or in real life for that matter. Madagascar. Yeah, there we go. Look at those green waters now. Bright and green, very nice. There we go. There we go, look at how lovely that is. Another day in paradise. Phil Collins, if anyone's wondering. Beautiful. Look at that. Wow. Those are some views there, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's time for us to whip out our trusty drone camera. Ooh. Drone camera is misbehaving. There we go, that's a drone camera. Oh, look at that, there's some lightning over there. Off to our left there's a bit of lightning. I just caught that. I don't know if you guys saw that, but there's a bit of lightning. What a beautiful area for a little joyride. Look at that. There's your delta. Very interesting set of mini islands over here. Beautiful. Look at the color of the water now. Some sort of lime green, I would say it is. Lime green over here, perhaps. Look at that. Now that is a beautiful place. Look at that. Would you look at that? That requires a screenshot right there. So does this. Look at this. Come on. Don't get much better than this. Alright. Now we've turned into some sort of olive green color. The water. It's become murky and muddy. So we get in towards the delta. That's really cool. Really cool. Seems like we're flying into a bit of clouds as well. Very nice. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. What a beautiful place. At least from up here. Madagascar is said to be quite an intimidating place in terms of sheer force of Mother Nature. Okay, we are back into the cockpit. We're gonna make some adjustments here so we continue flying along the delta before we get on out of here. There's a bit of weather ahead of us. You can see in the weather radar there. You know, visibility is good. We don't really need it, to be honest, but here we are. What a lovely place. What a lovely place. Can we try skimming the river? Of course. Of course. Of course. Why, of course? You know what? Now that you mentioned it, let's just go ahead and do that, right? Autopilot disconnect. Okay. Cut throttle in half. Yes. And down, 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 down we go. We double rainbow. Oh, would you look at that? We're actually flying into the rain. We're gonna have to arrest that speeding. We're kind of over speeding there, so ish. Okay, we're good. That's ooh fun. Look at that. That is fun. Would you look at that? All right. All right. I need to cut the throttle further. Let's cut it down all the way here. We can bleed some speed even quicker. And we're out of the clouds and the rain. And we are gonna skim the river a little bit here. Okay. We'll skim the fat tributary on the other side. We'll skim that. Check it out. Check it out. Let's go. All right. All right. Radio altimeter showing us that we're about 50 feet off the level of the water. There we go. Not very stable at the moment, to be honest with you. The trim is a little bit out of whack. I'm gonna raise the nose a little bit. Yeah, if you look at the radio altimeter, we're flying extremely low here. Just a couple of tens of feet, if even that. Yeah, radio altimeter is the bottom instrument of the radio pack of the 9-pack instrument in front of the pilot. It's one of the bottom right corner. That is the radio altimeter. So we're well below 50 feet at the moment. We're having the time of our life. We gotta be careful though. Let me give it a bit more power here in case I need to pull up quickly. Alright, we're just following along here in the rain, in the tributary. Just having a bit of fun. Yeah, look at that. Whoop. That is where we need to pull up. Okay. Okay, let's now turn around before we go too inland here. It will fly over the ground. And, hey, missed that treetop. We're about 100 feet in the air. Let's go get that fat tributary there. We'll skim the water on that fat tributary. Whoops, whoops. Okay. I need to trim this thing out, otherwise we're gonna have a big problem. Yeah. Oh, I know why. I know why. Hold on. We need to turn this off. Okay, there we go. Okay, we've made it to the open river pretty much. Still not yet the actual open river, but you know, get the point. Get the point. Look at this. Wow. Look at this, would you? This is crazy. This is crazy. That is so cool. I know I'm going more and more inland, but it is so cool. I can't help it. Let's take a quick look outside. There we are. Look at that. Flying really low. We're gonna turn around here. We need to turn around here. We need to turn around here. Okay, so we're gonna We're gonna turn around at this little island. And we need to get ourselves back into the delta. So let's backtrack now. Let's backtrack into the delta. Okay. Yeah, a few buildings off to our left. I saw that too. Yep, correct. Look at that swooping turn. Look at that swooping turn, ladies and gentlemen. Got to be really careful here. Okay. There's a strong wind right now. But, ooh. There we go, some empty ground. Lovely. Lovely. Check that out. Okay, let's head back over the water. Oh, trees. We got enough airspeed to do this, yes. Okay, we're gonna jump straight back in. Yeah. Looks good. Ooh, tree. Whoop. Okay, let's head back over the water. Come on. Alright. Let's make it through those trees there. And yeah, there we go. Need to be careful here. We need to be very careful here. We cannot get too close. Ooh, we're very close. Oh my gosh, we basically just crashed in there. It's very easy to lose perspective in places like this. I gotta watch my instruments really closely as well. In addition to outside. You think this is the most peaceful stream on the channel? Well, thank you very much, Mr. Runners. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here, man. Thanks, man. Alright. Here we go. We continue. Let's continue. Sleep on this anytime. Well, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. It's gonna continue flying nice and easy. Give us a nice sense of speed without going too high or getting too low. We're just gonna continue here nice and easy until we make it out of the delta, out until we meet the open ocean. All right. Beautiful. Okay, let's go to the right of this island rather than fly straight. We're gonna go through that little cloud of rain, little patch of rain that we can observe ahead of us. Alright, we got about 100 feet on top of the water. We're gonna dip that low to about 50 feet. There we go, we're about 50 feet there. keep it roughly at about 50 feet. There we go. Looking good. Looking good. Okay, a little burst of rain. Really low to the river there. If we get a sudden jolt, we're gonna get slammed against the water, and that'll be the end. So good thing we don't have much turbulence at the moment, otherwise we wouldn't be able to do this. In real life this would be really risky, except in perfect conditions, because it's just a sudden jolt and you're gonna get slammed into the water. We're flying at one point about 10 feet above the water. So that is what it is. Alright. Okay. Let's observe the change in color in water. Let's observe the change in color of the water as we fly along. From olive green to some dirty, murky yellow. That's where we are at the moment. It's some sort of dirty, murky yellow color from our perspective. See how this changes further on. It's pretty cool. Let's have a look. We are almost a flying boat at this point. Okay. That's not a change in color of the water, that is just the cloud, I believe. So let's find out what it looks like when the actual color of the water changes, eh? Okay, we're getting a bit more of a bright hue of yellow ahead of us. Let's enjoy that. Yeah, in the distance I can see the green and the blue. Very, very nice. It's very nice. Check that out. Check that out, would you? Now we've got a more light green on our hands. Some sort of light foresty green that's getting lighter and lighter. And brighter too. Look at that. It's turning more towards lime green color. It's not exactly lime green, but it's turning towards that color. Yeah, this is almost just green. Just a light green ahead of us. Very nice green. Let's see. In the distance, of course, it's becoming tealish. Gonna continue flying here at this altitude and enjoy this. Because it is beautiful. Look at that. More deeper green now. We're in more deep green territory. Looks beautiful. Yeah, it's very green now. Look at that. Turning slightly bluish, we're getting into the teal territory. Yes, we are. We're getting slightly bluish with the colors. Getting into teal territory. Okay, we're going to turn ourselves towards the open bay area. There we go. Now it's become a very luscious ocean green teal color. Very, very lovely. Ooh, careful there. Almost crashed in there. This is so difficult with an Xbox controller. I still don't understand why I don't just use the joystick. Okay, you know what? From the next stream, for sure, from the next stream, I'm gonna use it. Lovely. Ooh, now we're getting a bit... There's a bit of turbulence at the surface of this water now. The air is a bit choppy. It's not as smooth as it was inland anymore, which checks out because now we're by the bay, and all of a sudden I find myself having a bit of a difficulty holding on to altitude and vertical speed, and I find myself getting slammed up and down. So it's a dangerous idea to fly below 50 feet now. Look at that, we're getting thrown around a little bit as the color darkens and deepens into a more bluish hue here. Yep, we're definitely having a bit of a difficulty handling it, but that's kind of making it fun now. Okay, let's see how much bluer this gets before we decide to pull up and head towards our left and explore the other side. Okay, that's a lovely color. Ooh, suddenly very bright green. It's because we're close to the land, I believe. Yeah, the land is like right there. So that's very bright green. Lovely teal color. More on the green side, but I think in the distance I see deep blue. I think I see deep blue in the distance. Yep, and as you can tell, the water has now become much deeper. The waves are letting us know that that water is not the gentle river we were crossing. Now look at that. That's beginning to look more like seawater now. Look at that. We got a bit of white crests and frothing around us. Yep, and it's getting bluer and deeper. Ooh, no. It's getting more dangerous to hold this very low altitude below 100 feet, below 50 feet. So I'm gonna put it at about 75 feet now and look at the change in color now. Look at the change in color of the water. Now we are in blue territory. It's a sort of violet. It has turned rather violet, purple, indigo, if you want to call this color. It has turned some sort of indigo. Yeah, it's definitely a kind of indigo now. Beautiful. We're in the open ocean, I believe. Okay, let's climb up. Let's allow the aircraft to climb up. We're going to go back to 90% power. We're going to turn this on. We're going to turn on our... there we go. We're going to turn on our autopilot. Allow it to climb up. Brilliant. Brilliant. That was fun. It was very, very, very fun. Look at that. That's pretty much the open ocean ahead of us. Okay, now let's turn left here and continue on our exploratory journey. Of Madagascar. Would you believe it? We're actually right near where we took off from. It's just off to the right. The airport where we took off from. So we're going to continue now down the coast just for a bit longer. This is where we took off from. We've explored this little area. We've been going down till here, I believe. No, maybe till here. And we've come back out, and now we're just trying to explore this coastal area a little bit. Maybe check out this lake. And we'll come back to Soalala. That is FMNO. As a matter of fact, let me update that. FMNO for now. There we go. Soalala. That's what we're doing, ladies and gentlemen. That is what we're doing. So we're going to come down here, and then we're going to come down here. Yeah, there's the lake. No, this is this formation right here. We're able to see it right here. Okay. So we're going to head towards that right now. And I think we can hold about 1,500 feet. Because I don't see any elevation or any of those features. So we can hold about 1,500 feet. I'll do that. How about that? We'll hold 2,000 feet. We'll hold 2,000 feet. That'll do. Okay, let's head towards some cinematic views here. Because why not? Let's check this out. Look at that. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? It's beautiful, isn't it? I think Mr. Rannis has fallen asleep to it. Maybe the stream was a bit too relaxing. And I think Mr. Rannis is gone. I think he has fallen asleep, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Rannis. Okay. It's beautiful here. It is beautiful here. To say the least. Look at that deep green right under us. Look at that deep green. Wow. That is a crazy looking place. Okay. Lovely. Lovely. Is neat. Let's have a look around with our let's have a look around with our drone camera. It is beautiful, honestly. Check this out. It's beautiful. I wish they had a world update to fix this in a way, but you know, you can see some tiles and obviously some issues with the scenery, but it's beautiful. As a whole, it's very, very beautiful. Go take a look at our lovely aircraft there. It is absolutely beautiful, isn't it? It's very nice. It's very nice. Look at the colors on this. Wow. Just gorgeous. What else can you say? What can I say except you're welcome? I don't know why I keep saying that dumb thing, but it is what it is, man. All right, let's see where we can go from here to get ourselves a little bit more of the beautiful nature of Madagascar. We are going to a place called Farihikinkoni. We're going to a place called Farihikinkoni. I think that's the name of the lake. Farihikinkoni. So we're going to check out that lake. It's still a ways away from here. Then we're going to head towards Soalala. Okay? So hopefully Farihikinkoni is worth the trouble of traveling that far. Very interesting name. Farihikinkoni. If that's even what it actually says, because I'm unable to read that. Farihikinkoni. Yeah, that is what it says. Farihikinkoni. I did not make a mistake there, so. Oh, turbulence. Oh, a little choppiness. I always enjoy a little bit of choppiness. I like it when the air makes our aircraft shake its booty. You know what I mean? Look at this. Oh, it's shy. It's shop shaking. I mean, what am I saying? I'm saying it's shy. It has stopped shaking its booty. Come on. Move it. Hey, there we go. It's moving it a little bit. And that's all. Okay. I'm just going to head back in. Ooh, choppy. What a lovely, lovely scene. I'd love to do this flight in real life. This is just absolute definition of peace right here. I mean, even doing it in a simulator is so relaxing, honestly. So, there we go. Look at that cloud of doom that we're about to enter. Oh, we're just skimming the bottom of it, to be honest. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. There we go. That is a bumpy ride. I like to call this the bumpy booty. When general aviation aircrafts get caught in such turbulence, got a bumpy booty going on. All right, very nice. We're over some sort of body of water, and that body of water is called Mitsinjo. Oh gosh. I apologize for that. I apologize for that. That is my ringer there. I apologize for it. There we go. That is lovely coloring. I wonder what causes such green coloring there. Maybe it's algae or algae, or however you want to say it, depending on wherever you come from. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's beautiful. It is. All right, we have arrived at our destination, or at least one of the destinations. This lake right here, Ferihi. What is it the name again? Kinkoni. Ferihi Kinkoni. Okay, Ferihi Kinkoni. Since I've started Flight Sim, I have said a lot of names, butchered a lot of names, most of which I cannot even pronounce. Let's get rid of that autopilot because I see something very interesting down there. cut off our throttle there, bring it back down even further. Okay, because I see something very interesting down there, ladies and gentlemen. Let me cut off that completely. Okay, there are some boats that I'm seeing. Okay, that's too much. Too much trim, come on. Oh, come on. Alright, there we go. Let's turn it around. Look at that sharp turn. All the passengers screaming for their lives. Please, Mr. Noob. Oh, those are the interesting boats I've seen. Look at that. Got an old-fashioned sailboat in the water. Got an old-fashioned sailboat in the water. And that is exactly what I wanted to see. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, there we go. Thank you for that altitude alert. We don't need it. Let's turn it around tight here. There we go. Come on. There we go. Oh, yeah. Madagascar is probably the most color I've seen in such a small area. Yeah. I would like to say it's Madagascar, but there is also one other area. Ethiopia. Ethiopia is surprisingly colorful. Okay, even in the flight sim, it's portrayed really well. The colorfulness of Ethiopia is portrayed really, really well. Okay, we need a bit more of throttle here so we don't stall out. But you know, let me make this rough for the aircraft here. I have to be careful. 120 knots. Okay, come on. Come on. Yeah, come on. Alright, okay, there we go. Beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, same in Ethiopia. There's very little... Okay, I guess you're right in a way when you talk about it. It is in a small area. Look at this beautiful boat. Wow. Lovely. Just gorgeous, man. Wow. Gotta take a couple more look at that boat. So this is the lake that I've been talking about. Again, that name is gone again. Farihi Konkoni. Farihi Konkoni. Is that the name that I said, Anas, before? Do you remember? Or do I have to check the map again? Farihi Konkoni. Oh, there's also a modern yacht. I highly doubt you'll find any luxurious yacht over here on this lake. I highly doubt that. Is that a yacht? No, it's not a yacht. I don't think that's a yacht. No, it's not. Seems to be some kind of barge. Farihi Konkoni. Okay, I see something else in the distance of interest. Let's go and turn around and take a look at that. Oh, it's a little island, that's all. Let's go back and check out those two boats. Because those two boats are absolutely stunning. And I believe Madagascar does have such kind of boats. I'm not sure. I believe watching some documentary about a particular disease or something that broke out in one of the very remote areas of Madagascar. By the way, Madagascar has a lot of very remote and inaccessible areas. Look at that. Beautiful, right? Give the captain a little scare there. Come on, captain. We ain't gonna tear through your sails. We don't need to steal some wind. Alright, Farihi Konkoni, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna go down through the... Oh, that is beautiful, man. Come on, look at that. Lovely. Alright. Oh, nearly crashed there. Eyes on the road, pilot. Rather, eyes on the water. Okay, let's get up out of here because we need to move towards our destination for today, which is Soalala right here. And I'm not gonna use the autopilot. We're just gonna fly manually towards Soalala right here. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fly manually towards Soalala. Just enjoy the close flying here, which is almost always pretty fun. These trees in 2024 make it really fun to do this, and they also induce a lot of air movement. There's much better fluid mechanics going on here, which I'm enjoying, if I'm being honest. The interaction between the terrain and the air is absolutely lovely. I won't say it's spot on, but you can clearly tell the difference when you go and fly between different kinds of terrain and water. There is a difference, so that's lovely. Right, look at that, having a time of our life. Let's see if we can accelerate a little bit, make it a bit faster, shall we? Let's give ourselves a bit of throttle there, make it a bit quicker. Whee! As we fly towards Soalala. Not Salala. Salala is in Yemen. No, it's in Oman. Sorry, my bad. Salala is in Oman. We're going towards Soalala, Madagascar. Look at that. That's a good idea. I need to fly in Salala, Oman. Yeah, and Ras Al Khaimah, UAE. We've got lovely mountains over there. How come we've never done that? That is so foolish. Okay. Having a bit of fun, trying to just skim the ground here. Yeah, it's pretty much forest all the way, I believe. Yeah, I think so. Beautiful. Oh, gotta be careful on that one. All right. Okay. We're just skimming the tops of the trees here, honestly. Barely giving it any clearance, but that's okay. We're giving it a quick trim. Consider it a forest hedge trimming service. So I'm going to chop down some treetops with the propellers. You know, make it nice and flat. That'll be one way to cut grass, don't you think? Whee! The passengers must be terrified. Good thing I'm not a commercial pilot. When everybody asks me, why didn't you become a pilot? This is why. Because I know I would do this in real life. And that is why I cannot be a commercial pilot. Okay. There we go. No, I'm kidding. We have to be responsible. Yeah, that's why we have simulators, you know. To do what we can't do in real life, or what we shouldn't do in real life. And that is why we have simulators, to enjoy them like this. So I don't understand people who just recreate flights down to the T. I mean, that's great. I also do that as much as I reasonably can, but just doing that, you're missing out on the spirit of flight simulator. You need to be able to try some new crazy things, and you know, that's the whole point of having a flight sim. Yeah, you need to take a break once in a while from doing those perfectly planned, perfectly executed real world replica flights. Of course, I don't ever go into that level of detail on my channel, but there are lots of people who do, and I gotta be honest, it's very professional, it's very cool. Once in a while you gotta trim the trees with your propeller, you know what I mean? Once in a while you gotta trim the trees. Okay. Empty clearing here. Let's go kiss the ground. Let's give the wingtip a little bit of a kissing the ground kind of feel there. There we go. We had to pull up, otherwise we were going to crash in there. Just navigating the spaces there between different trees, and we're going to pull this way. Yep. Perfect. Soalala should be showing up any second, to be honest with you. We're not too far away from Soalala. We're not too far. That's fun, isn't it? That is fun. There we go. Okay, not much leeway to turn around at this altitude. We're gonna clip some trees if we try to turn. Alright, Mr. Noob, this is where I shall leave you tonight. Alright. Alright, Anas. Thank you for hanging out, man. I'll see you. I'll see you. Best of luck. I'll be sure to check out your landing later. Well, if you can hold on for 5 minutes, we're literally there, for your information. We're literally there. You know what? Let me show you. Look at this. Look at little nav map. It's literally right here. So if you want to hang on for 5 more minutes, you're going to literally see us wrap it up. So there is Soalala. It's literally there. You see the water there? It's at the edge of the water. We can see the water right ahead of us. It's at the edge. So okay, so let's climb back up because we are very close. We look at this. Let me increase the range there. Okay, Soalala is somewhere here, to be honest with you. Yep, Soalala is somewhere right here. So just so we get a bit of altitude, we're going to increase, I believe, yep, right there. Okay, that's great. That is great. Soalala coming up. It is at the edge of one of these tributaries, I believe. It's not too bad at all. There is a duck-shaped, there's a duck-shaped tributary river kind of thingy. And right in front of that, over here is Soalala. So we just need to hunt for the airfield now. Where is Soalala? And there is Soalala. That is it, right there. That is it right there, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so we need to cut. Let's see if we can make it on the first try. I don't think we will. I think we're too close. Okay, landing lights on. Let's put our propeller on max RPM. Fuel mixture full. And cowl flaps need to be open, but we can land with closed cowl flaps. It's fine. There we go. Coming into land. Soalala. That is a quick landing setup there. Let's see. Can we make it? Okay, there we go. Welcome to Soalala, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I need to put the brakes here. We're gonna overrun if I don't stop. we will stop. Yeah, we'll stop. Hopefully. Right on time. Oof, we just stopped. We just made it. I should have applied the brakes much sooner than that. But welcome to Soalala, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, that is Soalala for you. Let's go ahead and take a look at the landing replay. All right. Go ahead and take a look at the landing replay. Brilliant. Okay, I'm gonna stop the aircraft right here. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? There we go. Time for landing replay, Mr. Runners. Time for the landing replay. Let's check out how we did in Soalala. Are those your drift marks? Yeah, drift marks do preserve in 2024. So, yeah, those are the drift marks. Let's take a look at Sky Dolly. Okay, Sky Dolly has managed to record the flight. Let us see if that works. Oh yeah. We'll start off from here. Yeah, you know what? We'll view it from this view first, like so. So landing replay into Soalala, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, landing replay into Soalala. Let's check it out. Okay, nice and smooth and floaty there. Brilliant. Very, very nice. I should have applied my brakes sooner. I don't know why. It's a very slippery aircraft, so I should have applied my brakes sooner to come to a stop a little quicker. I just let it run for some reason. Since it's technically a bush port, no harm, no foul here though. No harm, no foul. It was just perfect. That was brilliant though. That was brilliant. Let's take a few more ganders at this particular landing because it is a really beautiful one. So let me get our drone camera around here. How about this? This is good, right? We can try this. I'm trying to centralize our aircraft here. Okay, I think that's good. Of course, we can do cabin view too, of course. Not a problem at all, Mr. Runners. Okay, we'll do this view first. Let's play that. Soalala. Here we go. All right. Should have braked, didn't, but it's good. Just in the nick of time, we managed to turn this thing around and land like a true bush pilot. Look at that. Nice, nice. All right. Okay, we're gonna rewind that and we're gonna go ahead and take a look at a couple of landing views from the cabin here. So I'm just gonna go a little bit behind there for our views from the cabin. Perhaps this one first. How about this one? Let's try this one first. Not a particularly interesting view for this kind of aircraft because, you know, Miss 8085 says, have you seen any animals? Unfortunately not. We have not seen any animals yet in Madagascar. This is not a very animal-y area at the moment that we have flown over in Madagascar. If you want to see animals, then we'll have to go over Kenya, over the Serengeti. That is a very good place to see animals. So no, we haven't, unfortunately. Let's take a look from the cabin. How about this view? This view looks great. Let's have a look at this view. All right. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Should we do one more? Should we do one more, perhaps from this view? Oh, sorry about that. Perhaps from this view or something? Yeah, we'll do one more from this view. Well, I shall go now, says Mr. Runners. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Runners, for tuning into our stream as usual. Thank you so much, and I appreciate it, man. I shall see you. Good night. Is 2024 the most recent flight sim by Microsoft? 8085. It is. It is the most recent flight simulator by Microsoft. There are not many flight simulators out there. And this is the latest by Microsoft, yeah. Let's take a look at this landing replay. Last one from this view. Very nice water in the distance there, very beautiful. All right. Very nice. Very, very nice. Let's now go ahead and shut down this aircraft because I don't know if I should continue this stream. It is 1 hour 23. I think it's time to wrap it up here, isn't it? I think it's time to wrap up this stream here. I am getting hungry, so it's time to eat something. I might stream again later tonight. I'm not so sure about that, but for now, let's go ahead and shut down our aircraft. Okay. Let's do that, shall we? So, to shut down our aircraft, let's go ahead and turn this stuff off. Gonna put that off. Gonna cut that. Bye bye, Miss 8085. Appreciate you tuning in to the stream. Thank you very much for coming by to say hello. Landing taxi lights all off. That off. Beacon lights can now go off. Pedal lights off. Pitot heat's off. You can release that right there. Perfect. We can have that turned off, generators off. We can leave the cowl flaps open. Okay. Cowl flaps can be left open fully. We should have opened them for landing, but it's alright. Let's put that to 0. Turn off that, and we're going to turn off our avionics there. Just going through everything, make sure everything is off. Got our nav lights and stuff off as well then, yeah? Yes, we do. Everything is off, everywhere. Brilliant. Fuel selectors can also be turned off, why not? Okay, given that, you can turn off the pitch trim thing as well. Turn that off as well. We'll leave that open there and then close it. Good. Very, very good. Okay. Now that that's done, let's go ahead and turn off our battery itself. There we go. You can come here, open all the doors there. There we go. Doors open for us to get out. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. Thank you very much, everybody who tuned in once again. Anis EM is 8085. I appreciate all of you guys tuning into my live stream. It was really nice of all of you to do that. Hope you guys had a good time. Go ahead and close up those two and put away that tablet right there. Look at that. Okay, drone camera to end things here. And once again, I want to extend my thank you to all my viewers in the chat or not. All my subscribers, thank you very much. Consider liking and subscribing if you haven't. And yeah, that was an enjoyable little escapade, and I need to do more of this because they're really, really good. Thank you very much once again. Hope to catch you in the next live stream. But for now, for today, we're gonna end it right here. Thank you once again, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.